Hi everyone, and welcome to this video on the new moon in Libra that takes place on the 16th of October at 8:30 in the evening, and that's based on UK time. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to give you a rundown of what this new moon means in terms of the astrology and what energy it's going to create for you and how you can use that to your advantage. So the new moon is something that happens every month. It's when the sun and the moon conjunct each other, so they sit on top of one another. The moon goes pitch black. So in terms of the spiritual meaning, the moon goes within. It kind of takes time out for itself to contemplate and reflect on the last 30 days. And it kind of gets ready to start fresh and to say, okay, what am I going to do in the next 30 days? Now, a new moon pulls energy in from the sun, so it's recharging its batteries to get going. So it makes sense to set a goal, right? I'm going to start a new 30-day period. What am I going to do in those 30 days? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to maintain? Or how do I want to progress? Or what are my goals for the next month? And the new moon is a great time to think about that. And it's a new moon in Libra. Libra is an air sign. It's a cardinal sign. So it's number one. It says, I'm the boss. I'm in charge. I say what goes. Air sign. So communication, ideas, the unmanifest, and what could be. And it's a masculine element, so it's about what could I create and what are my ideas and how could I capture those or articulate them, or what are the decisions I need to make to create a certain reality. So, you know, like the king says, I'm going to tax the people 10% because I don't want them being overly taxed, and that's going to have a huge impact on everyone living under that king's rule. Libra is about balance. And often Libras are said to be indecisive. I don't find that at all. I think that Libras are very good at tuning into the greater good and the needs of the people. So Libras take a lot of other people into account. It's not that they can't make a decision, but it's that they make good decisions and they think of other people when making decisions. So I said it in the weekly horoscope that I did a moment ago, but I'm a visual person, and tarot and astrology and things like, there's so many visual clues. So if you look at the glyph of Libra, I always see that as a bridge with a speed bump in it. And it means that Libra is interested in looking at what can be resolved between different people, what needs to be overcome. It's a very positive sign in the sense that this is an obstacle. It's meant to be overcome. It's a very can-do, let's go for it, we're all in this together kind of energy, rather than, oh, insurmountable obstacle, let's just quit. It's not like that. So the bridge connects two things to each other. So it's fundamentally a sign about connection. And even though Libra can make good decisions, it can sometimes come across as cold and harsh, because it's not interested so much in the individual's feelings who is being cut out, but in the feelings of the group and in the majority. So Leo can be undecisive in the sense that it lets other people influence it too much, as in the majority says, I shouldn't be doing this, therefore I cannot be doing it. And that's where it falls down a little bit, because it's too compromising. And that's where the cardinal mode helps, because then Libra says, do you know what, actually I do make good decisions, and I can't make everyone happy, but I'm still going to try. So the new moon in Libra, it really asks you, how do you want your relationships to be over the next 30 days? Do you want to bring more balance into your relationships? Do you want to improve things? Do you want to start new relationships with people, places, or things? Where do you want to go visit next? Who would you like to meet? Do you want to start doing a certain class, cooking class? It's at 23 degrees, 2 and 3 is 5, and 5 is freedom. So this opportunity to really make new connections with people, places, and things for the next 30 days, plural, is really, really good, because not only is it going to add more into your life and make your life bigger and more interesting, but it's also going to lead to something that sets you free. So something that's unhealed in you or unresolved is going to be resolved over the next 30 days as a result of a new relationship that you have in your life. And that can be with your soulmate, It can be with Glastonbury Tor because you go visit it. Sorry, I've got a picture there. That's why I'm looking at it. Or it could be with backgammon. I love to play backgammon. And just the focus and playing with someone else is curing anxiety. I'm just making this up. Is curing my social anxiety because I'm getting to know this person via backgammon. We're playing and I feel a lot more confident. There you go. It can be as mundane, as simple as that. And that then leads to freedom because you're not so afraid and you can speak to other people. So that's what I'm talking about. Making your life bigger, full of new wonderful places, new wonderful people, and new amazing activities that you haven't tried. You know what I became aware of the other day? I became aware of that I speak a lot about the past and what I used to do. And I'm not past my prime. I feel like I'm becoming a real mature adult, and that I've got a lot of life in front of me. So I consciously became aware of that, and I was like, stop talking about the past so much, instead focus on what you can do in the future and what new things you can do in future. So it's interesting because as you go through life, especially with the lockdown that we had, most people's lives shrank. And it's an amazing opportunity here with this new moon in Libra to make a conscious effort to expand your life again, to say, okay, there are still some restrictions in place depending on where you are, but I have more options now and I'm able to try different things. And that's the new moon is going to inspire you to be like that and to say, hey, I've got loads of great things to look forward to. There are amazing bridges to be built. Where am I going to put the bridges down? So see this as an amazing opportunity to blow up your life in a good way. Then we have the new moon opposing Mars and Black Moon Lilith in Aries. Okay, so first of all, Mars and Aries, they're signs that are opposite. Aries is me, my path, my progress, and Libra is connection, our progress. Let's all kumbaya. We love it. Okay, so it's two different vibes. Mars is at 20 degrees in Aries, in retrograde. So Mars is over there making relationships weird and complicated. He's too much, too aggressive, totally absent, like the Knight of Wands. Think of Mars in Aries as the Knight of Wands or the King of Wands, who King of Wands who doesn't know what he's doing. So a Knight of Wands basically. So Mars in that placement doesn't really know about relationships, but because you have this new moon away from it, it kind of soothes Mars a little bit and it makes your relationships a lot easier. So the new moon gives you a reprieve from difficult relationships and relationships that have inherent conflict in them, and real relationships that irritate you. They aren't going to affect you so badly, and you're going to make peace and even kind of incorporate people that you're not so keen on in this community that you're creating, okay, in this new daily routine. So for instance, you have 10 friends you talk to once a week, or 5 friends once a week, or you go to the gym 2 times a week. Whatever your routine is and the structures of your life are, relationships aren't going to be inflamed and made worse by Mars in retrograde in Aries, okay? Black Moon Lilith, 29 degrees in Aries. Black Moon Lilith is the part of the chart where the ego tries to sabotage you, okay? And Black Moon Lilith is trying to get you to ignore this new moon by saying, hey, you can only be of service to you. No one's going to help you. Only you can help you. So ignore everybody else and do your own thing. And that's the exact wrong advice, because this is a wonderful opportunity to expand your life and to make new connections. You can't do that when you're in megalomaniac mode saying, my life, my money, my, because that's not attractive to other people. They don't usually like that. Quick life hack. Yeah, if you come across as a complete egomaniac or narcissist, people don't love that for some reason. So even the worst narcissists and most selfish individuals are going to feel that there's a reprieve here on the 16th of October, because this new moon really gives you a sense of, hey, I don't need to react to everything in my life. I've got some time to go within, to contemplate, to have a clean slate and to start over. And what I'm interested in for the next 30 days are relationships. And I can pursue my own things, but it's going to be much more interesting and much more helpful to me if I don't completely isolate, and if I allow those new relationships to come into my life and make my experience here on planet Earth more enjoyable and easier and more fun. So that's amazing. Then we have a sextile between the new moon and the south node at 22 degrees in Sag. And you don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You don't need to travel to make new relationships. You don't need to channel Babaji. It's a lot more mundane than that. You can go to the supermarket and ask someone how much that cabbage is, and you might get into a conversation about it. It's a lot more down to earth than you may initially think. So the sextile with the new moon and the south node, it's really just saying that don't overthink this. It's not so complicated. It's that the world presents itself to you as new, and all you really need to do is engage with it and let yourself be amused and delighted by the world. You don't have to do things which seem totally out of your comfort zone or impossible to do. It's like if I were to say, okay, the new moon is happening, so by the end of the month I need a child. So the only thing that's missing now is the boyfriend. Okay, I'm going to find the boyfriend in the first 10 days, convince him to have a child with me in the next 5, then we find the surrogate and the adoption and blah blah blah, and get it sorted with social services in the UK, and then by 30 days we'll have the kid. Yeah, I'm kind of setting myself up for failure, okay? This is like self-will run riot, where I'm saying, okay, this is the new relationship I must have. And then you kind of walk all over other people's needs and desires to get what you want. That's not what's going to work. What's going to work is just saying, I am what I'm doing right now. This is my life as it is. Let me keep doing what I'm doing. And let me just be open-minded to new people, places, or things coming in, and they will come in, okay? You just need to be aware of them. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You do not. Okay, we've got a square between the new moon and 4 planets. We've got Pallas Athena, the warrior goddess. We've got Jupiter, good luck and good fortune. Pluto, Hades in mythology, death and rebirth, the king of the underworld. And Saturn, which is structure and security. The emperor in the tarot, the engineer, the person who says, this is your life. These are the bones of your life. And this is the best way to operate within this framework. All in Capricorn, squaring your new moon in Libra. So I want to be creative and work. I want to work at things independently because I think I'm going to create something fabulous. I want to do something that's really meaningful for others and that's going to change their lives and mine. I want to do something creative that I'm going to be remembered for forever. It's a bit much, isn't it? So cool your heels. You can only do so much, and that sounds like it's a distraction. So your ego is going to try and distract you from making new relationships and making your life bigger by saying you have to work today, and if you don't do it, you're going to miss all the opportunities. It's not true. You can achieve great things, but it doesn't come from a place of willfulness and I must, and if I don't, I'm going to miss opportunities. It comes from a place of I feel balanced, I feel good, I want to be creative, I want to share, I want to connect, and something good will come from that. So if you find yourself forcing yourself into things, you're missing the boat. If you find that you're at ease within yourself and you're rediscovering a new equilibrium in your life and you're figuring things out, so if you've got nothing in your schedule, you put some things in your schedule. If you're overworked, then it's about finding balance in your daily structure so that you can have a nice daily experience. So you're being asked to create a kind of like a pause for yourself. You're supposed to create a safe space in which you can just exist for a minute and say, what do I want to do? Free from outside pressure with money and relationship and children and must this and you should do, you know, all of that stuff. I'm looking at my equilibrium, how I'm going to live my life and how I can beautify it. Remember that Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of love, beauty and creativity. And Venus, I hope I said Venus. Libra is ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty, Aphrodite. And Venus is in Virgo in this chart at 16 degrees. So it's about what practical action you can take to make your life more beautiful and to fall in love with your everyday life. And you have to kind of make sense of what you like and what you don't like so you can bring more positive things into your life. If you don't know what you're into, then you can't do that. So what you like and what you don't like is going to be very clear to you. Not that you're forced to kind of act on everything, but it just gives you a nice choice of how you can upgrade your life and make it more palatable for you on a day-to-day basis. So this is about renovating your lifestyle, okay? Renovating your day-to-day life. Nice. Okay, then we've got the square with the outer planets. Yep. Then we have a trine with Ceres, cornucopia of wealth and abundance, at 28 degrees in Aquarius. 2 and 8 is 10. That reduces to 1 in numerology. 1 is the magician, the pioneer. I do things, the cardinal mode in astrology. Okay. In Aquarius, when you do something that you feel is going to connect you to other people and make their life better a bit, so all you have to do is do what you're already doing to expand your life, but also you're thinking of, how can my presence enrich their life? And if you think along those lines, the opportunities and the way to progress and the doorways opening is going to expand even more, because Ceres is abundance. So if you tap into this humanitarian vibe of I'm helping myself and other people, then you're just going to be in that sweet spot of life. You're going to be in the flow and things will just work magically and you will get more of the good things. And I know that that sounded like a definition of addiction there. More-ism, I, self, me. It's not about that. It's not about the self. It's about doing things that make you feel balanced and beautiful, and like life is beautiful and abundant, beautiful, amazing opportunities will come your way. So what did I say? Backgammon. Does backgammon help humanity? Not really. But backgammon helps the other guy playing with me, and the game itself, although I don't know how, is a nice pastime. So again, it doesn't need to be that you're working at the United Nations and that you're creating a piece of legislature which is gonna, you know, revolutionize the planet. It can be just as simple as helping someone pass an afternoon when they were crying before, and you arrive and you comfort them a bit, and it's better for both of you. It can be as simple as that, okay? Then we have... Okay, we've got the trine with Ceres, then we've got that opposition with Mars and Black Moon Lilith. I've mentioned that. Then on the other side, we've got a trine with the part of fortune at 21 degrees in Gemini, just underneath the rising sign, the ascendant at 21 degrees in Gemini. So the rising sign is the sign of the zodiac that's on the horizon in the east at the moment of this chart, okay? So Gemini was just coming up over the horizon. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 is communication, the voice, speaking, thinking. Gemini is communication, the voice, speaking, thinking. So the rising, the natural default setting is for you to articulate, to create your own ideas and to give them a voice and to give them life. So it's not about making your life bigger in the sense that you just agree with everyone else and you say, yeah, great. It's about speaking your truth and making connections as a result of that. Okay, so it's the difference between, I don't know, going to an art class and saying, okay, we're doing a still life today, and then you do the still life and you get marked and thanks teacher, that was great. Instead, you decide that you're going to do the still life in bright colors because you need some color therapy. You do that, it's amazing. All the other students look at you and say, what made you think of that? It's genius. They all crowd around you and you say, give me your number. You're so creative, I want to have lunch with you. Oh, I'm showing you how my mind works now. Wishful thinking, right? So you do something that makes you feel good, and people pick up on that. You don't need to be a psychic to realize when someone's in a good place or not. And we all want to be around people who are happy, who are enjoying their lives, who are feeling creative. And you've got all of that in bucket loads today, okay? So the rising sign means that you're super communicative. So use that as the method to build those bridges, okay? So the bridges are going to be created, the building blocks are your creativity, your output, your opinions, your thoughts. The part of fortune is an Arabic part in the chart, not a lot of, not every astrologer uses it because it's not an actual planet or an asteroid or a luminary. It's an Arabic part. You work it out between the sun and the moon, So just FYI, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. Part of fortune, it looks like the X-Man symbol with a circle in it next to the rising. And it means that if you open your mouth and if you actually speak your truth, that's the way to succeed today. Not by teaching other people's ideas or plagiarizing. Oh, that's a big no-no, by the way. Always, don't ever plagiarize. But today particularly, don't plagiarize. Because the one thing that people will pick up on is inauthenticity? Authenticity and inauthenticity, if that's a word. The opposite of authenticity, basically. So being fake. Don't be fake, because Mercury is in Scorpio at 11 degrees, and people will suss that out. And they won't call you on it. They'll just be like, okay, I'm not building my bridge in that direction. Let's go somewhere else. So the way to make friends and to expand your life is by being honest and real, not by trying to tell people what you think they want to hear. Because the rising sign is Gemini, this whole chart is ruled by Mercury, the communication planet. And like I just said, it is at 11 degrees in Scorpio. So you feel things very strongly. So within this whole process of expanding your life, don't take things too seriously and don't read into them too much, because you are going to be more sensitive than usual. Where it can help you is if you're connecting to the higher realms or meditation. You're trying to get a sense of connection or home or love from your meditation practice or your prayer practice or your yoga practice or chanting practice that you have every day to connect with something bigger. If you're trying to make that happen, if you're trying to build a bridge in that area, that's the best way to use your sensitivity and your intuition to connect with something unmanifest. When it comes to other people, yeah, don't allow yourself to be hurt by passing remarks or something that someone says without thinking. It's none of your business. Okay? And don't read too much into it. Just because someone says the wrong thing today doesn't mean they're not worth having a friendship with. So just be aware of that you may be a little bit more sensitive than usual, and that just because someone said the wrong thing doesn't make them a bad person. Okay, what else? Let's see. Okay, so we've got the new moon. I'm just going to tilt my head a bit and see that I haven't missed anything. Okay. A position. Trine, square, sextile. Yep, that's it. What's also interesting is that most of the activity is happening in the top half of the chart. And the top half, except the new moon, the top half of the chart is about the public. It's about you in connection with institutions, groups of people, and it's about transcending the self and connecting with the higher realms. So it's about little old you connecting to everything and anything that's out there in the universe, and whatever brings you a place of joy or fun or ooh, this is exciting or something new, connect to that. Like taking a plug and sticking it in a socket. Yeah, so connect to what it is you love. It's really going to improve your life. And for the next 30 days, you can really make something really very pleasing happen in your life, and you can bring it into your life on a permanent basis. So congrats. I hope you make the most of this new moon. I certainly will. Have a lovely time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, just click on the Book Your Readings button to order your reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology, as well as my intuition. The way I combine the numbers, so 21 is 3, it's communication in numerology, is Mercury in astrology, is Gemini in astrology. I combine all 4 in my personal readings. So if you are in a place in your life where you have to make decisions about the future or a relationship or your life purpose or work or living situation or anything at all, then get in touch with me for a personal reading. I can answer any questions you may have in a personal reading. I also have my own deck of cards out. It's called the Gregory Scott Tarot. So if you're interested in tarot cards and you want to use my deck, you can get those on Amazon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online if you really like it. Have a lovely time during this new moon. Get in touch with me for a personal reading. Have a lovely time, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best. Mwah.